Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 140 of Two Amazon Sellers and a Microphone, brought to you by Solozo. And today, Chris and I are really excited because we have Amy Weiss from Amazing at Home on with us, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of solid marketing strategies for your Amazon business. Amy, how are you doing?
I'm great. It's so great to have you guys. I love this format of, two sellers and a microphone. Yep. It reminds me of, were you guys going for that two turntables and a microphone?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. We spent a lot of time going back and forth because we wanted to start a podcast. We're like, what do we name it? And it was like, should we do AMZ something or this and that? We're like, oh no, we got to. And then out of nowhere, that song came on actually. And I was like, oh, I got to tell Chris, let's do Two Amazon Sellers and a Microphone. That would be perfect. So it's been a lot of fun. Plus, it's nice to have two of us because if any of us, either one of us ever stumbles on a question, the other one can pop right in. So we always got it. It's nice to have.
That's what we do on our podcast too. And it's so nice because Andy has just that, he's got the software development side of things and you kind of, that kind of brain behind that. And he just thinks about things in a different way than I do. So it's like, we get both sides. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's true. And a conversational style like this is fun too, as well. We don't need to be scripted or go on. We're just going to talk and get to know everybody. So we really like it. But before we jump into all this, for anybody who's listening or watching, if they don't know you or haven't heard of you, I don't know how, you're all over. You type in any sort of Amazon or a question about Amazon, they find you. But if they haven't seen you, tell us a little bit about your background. You've got the floor. We'd love to hear your journey of what you did and how you got to here now and what you're doing now.
It's funny that everybody says that, Amy, you're everywhere. You've been on all these things. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm everywhere. Yeah. So it's just weird to me that, I guess I just forget because it's so much fun. It really is so much fun to this industry is so great and there's so many great podcasts and there's so many great events and the people, we're all competitors, but we all get along so well and we just are here for each other's growth. And it's honestly so awesome. So where did I get started? Oh my goodness. I started selling on Amazon in 2007.
Wow.
But it was a total hobby. So I'm an Air Force girl. I was in the Air Force for many, many years. I just retired in October of 2018 to do e-commerce full time. And so I started in 2007, but it was literally just flipping textbooks or whatever was laying around the house, because back then you could put anything on Amazon, and it would just sell. And I would sell used stuff, and I would make my own packaging and stuff like that. So anyways, a total hobby while I was in the Air Force and while I was going through college, to, just kind of flip my textbooks. And I sold some stuff on eBay too. And then when I got stationed in Hawaii, I didn't want to do it anymore because it was merchant fulfilled back then, and it was very expensive to ship from Hawaii. So I was like, no, I'm just going to take a little break from Amazon for a little while. And I started an Etsy store while I was in Hawaii. I was painting wine glasses and beer steins, making custom designs as going away gifts for military people. And so I just was doing this Etsy thing and just having fun with it, not selling very much, but just enjoying myself, right? Hobby. And then in 2017, I had an idea for a product because of a problem that I had, and that wasn't solving my problem. So I invented a litter box cleaner. But so I have cats and I also have migraines and bad migraines. And the smell from the litter box was just gross and just driving me crazy. And I tried every litter box and I was like, I'm not going to get rid of my cats. I'm finally done with the military. I'm finally here in San Antonio, Texas, where my kids are going to grow up, and I'm settled. I have more pets now, and I'm here now dealing with this litter box scent problem, right? And I was like, we have not innovated on cleaning up dog or cat poop ever. Like we humans are seriously sitting on heated, seated toilets, right? And like we have like luxury everywhere. Like in China, when I go on my China trips, you know, I have like this amazing toilet that like opens up and greets me when I walk in the room, you know. And here we are still cleaning up dog turds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously, and nobody has innovated on this. And I'm like, you know, there has to just be a better way. And so I just started working on it and working on it and working on it. And every time I would draw up a sketch, it was always like a better litter box, but that didn't solve the problem. So it was like, oh no, somebody's already thought of that and that didn't work, right? So I just kept working on it. Like every time I would go travel with military, I would draw new ideas and sketch them up. And again, I would just keep running into problems. And I'm like, it's not a solution. And I didn't know if I would ever solve it, but I was on a mission, right? So I woke up one morning and I realized that like the litter box is the problem. You know, like we have devices to clean everything else, but we don't have devices to clean up our dog's poop or our cat's, you know, issues. Anyway, you know, I'm very comfortable talking about dog feces apparently, but it's made me a little bit of money. But anyway, so I built a prototype and it worked really, really well. But I had no idea. You guys, I have an MBA. I have a couple of undergraduate business degrees. I have a master's degree in cybersecurity. I did not know how to launch a product that's new and never seen before. Like I knew I could launch it on Amazon, which is cool. But I was like, how in the heck, you know? So I started going to like these design firms and I tried out for Shark Tank, all these things. And everybody wants like $30,000 to take your drawing and turn it into a different drawing. And I was like, you know, there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. Brands bring new products to market all the time. This cannot be impossible, you know? And so I just set out on this journey to figure it out. And that kind of began this whole thing. And did I expect to have a consulting firm or co-found a software company or any of that? No. But that all happened. And, you know, sometimes God has different plans for us than we have for ourselves. So it just worked out. So here we are today. And, you know, I've got a couple of private labels and I'm having a blast. And I've helped hundreds of brands with listing optimization, and I've helped thousands of brands now, over 1,000 brands launch their products in the marketplace and help people develop products. And now we go to China. Well, we used to. This was pre-COVID, right? There's a lot of those pre-COVID things that we say, but I'm planning a sourcing trip to South America. That's exciting, but there's just so much, and I'm just fully engulfed now in this consumer products good industry and e-commerce, and I love it. So here we are.
There's so much there.
Yeah, so we got there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry.
Dude, I was totally intrigued by the sourcing trip to South America. I mean, I think all the time about ways to not possibly source from China all the time.
It's really like with shipping lately, right? It's so insane. Yeah.
I've got a shipment that's taking forever right now. I mean, it's been in at the port in California for, I don't know, it's been there for like 2 weeks now, just sitting there. I'm like, oh, come on.
I learned my lesson. I used my supplier's shipper because for one of my suppliers, she gave me a quote and it was just so good. And compared to all the other quotes I was getting, I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Like, you ship it, you know? Oh my gosh. It took like 4 months to get to me. I was like, never again will I not use like a trusted freight forwarder that I know.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's taking a long time, but your story is it's amazing, really. I mean, it's interesting how all of this starts as a side hustle and you never know where it's gonna go. Like if you'd asked me when I was, you know, sort of launching my first private label product that, oh, I might be working with a software company in the Amazon space and running a podcast talking to experts, you're like, you're crazy. That's no chance. But you're helping thousands of people and businesses. That's got to feel so great to watch other people succeed now and to help them do that.
It's extremely overwhelming, Dustin. It is like, it brings me so much joy. And when I just scroll through Amazon and I see all these brands and I know their stories and I know the people behind them. And, just coaching in this space is so cool because it's not just business. There's a lot of tears that we shed on coaching calls because it's life. This is risk. This is like going after your dreams. And it's such an emotionally charged thing. And I get messages nearly every day from people that are just like, thank you so much. You changed my life, or I just sold my business. And, it's so cool. So yeah, I completely agree that, that this industry is great. The friendships that we make. And there's something about being in an environment with a bunch of other entrepreneurs and risk takers. It's like, we just kind of fit. It's like we're family, and me coming from a military background where you're not around your blood family and you're willing to die for the person next to you. That's a close knit community. But I have to say, like, I have made even closer relationships on this side. And it really just blows my mind every day. And I feel super blessed. Yeah.
Well, we're all in this like together, right? Like there's so much pieces of the pie left. I always love like I don't know, some people, this is totally different for everybody, but like they're scared to show their product, they're scared to talk about it because they know we're sellers. It's like, look, I don't have time to go try to figure out your product. I got my own thing I'm worrying about. Like,
do you know how long it takes to launch a brand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't care you're selling that. Like I got my own thing I got to do.
Yeah.
It's a good point, but I do love the community. It is interesting. I mean, in a lot of ways, we're competitors, but everybody, like, if I figure out some trick that works for me, I can't wait to like go tell Chris or somebody else. It's like, you're not going to believe, you've got to try this because it's fun and the landscape changes like every day. So it's like there's if you don't stay on top of it, you kind of get lost. So it makes it fun. I know everyone's in the same boat, so that everyone appreciates all the knowledge, and that's a way we've enjoyed this podcast so much doing it. I mean, just because it helps us. We love talking to people that have insights and strategies and all of that. But let's go back to your story a little bit. So when did you start your consultancies? When did you start Amazing at Home? What year was that?
2018. I started it, I think, it was either early 2018 or late 2017. It's all kind of a blur because I was still working full time. And I paid a lot of money for my molds. The litter box cleaner that I invented is made in the USA. And I had to get my molds made in China and bring them back to the US. And so I went through, in the US, it's very hard to find suppliers because most manufacturers in the US are founded by the company or the brand that makes those products. Unless it's like a co-packer or a supplements company, right? Most of the manufacturing facilities are founded by companies that started making their own products and, set up a facility for their own products. So a lot of times, I had a client email me the other day from Australia and she was like, Amy, I can't get these US manufacturers to return my calls or my emails. And I said, well, it's because you're asking them for an RFQ and packaging like they're from China. Like this is not China and they're not interested in manufacturing for you. So I had to figure that out. The reason my product has to be made in the USA is because it's too large to export from China. So that was one of the first things that I had to figure out is like, how am I going to find a manufacturer here? And how do I even get tooling made? I didn't even know what tooling was back then. Right. Or, how that worked, injection molding, 3D CAD, all these things. I built a 3D printer with a friend and he and I like kind of pieced this thing together and it was just like, it was a cool journey. And I'm so glad for every step of it. But anyway, while I'm going through that, I paid like over $40,000 for my mold. It's very large. And when you see it in person, like it's like the size of me. It's a really big mold. And I definitely paid a higher price than before I started going to China. And I realized, I could have just went to China and had this done for probably about 20 grand. So probably about half the price. And then I'd had to pay for shipping to get it back to the US. But anyway, for them all in, their all in price, I paid over $40,000. So here I was still working full time at my cybersecurity job. And I was also like, just like trying to figure out, we were doing wholesale. We brought my husband home from his job and he was working full time in the business. We were doing wholesale at the time. We were doing a little bit of private label. We were just kind of trying to figure it out. Like we started doing retail arbitrage, we're just like, what can we throw at the beast, to figure this out. Right. And again, I'm so thankful for all of that stuff that I did because it's enabled me to help others more. Right. So I was looking for more ways to make money to pay off these molds. I didn't want to be heavy debt, in the business. So I started in my wholesale Amazon business. I started hiring people on Fiverr to write my listings. Well, they were terrible. Like everybody that I hired was terrible. They had bad English, it was not good. So I was like, okay, how can I do this? Right. So I was like, I think I can write a better listing. Like I'm pretty good at understanding SEO. I know what I'm doing. I'm a decent writer. Like I do have 5 college degrees. I think I can write a decent listing. Right. So I started copywriting for myself and it was great. I was getting a lot of just really great traction with my wholesale products. And then I was like, I could put this on Fiverr. I could make a little money, a little extra money. So I put it on Fiverr and I just wrote a really great sales pitch on Fiverr. And I started getting people to book to have me, write their listing. Well, these people, I have a really good way of taking really saturated products and turning them around. Okay. So if you have a saturated product, so at the time, one that I remember, I've written so many of these now, but one that I remember, it was a felt letterboard. Do you guys remember the felt letterboard craze?
Oh, yeah.
Right here. I know exactly what those are.
Chris is going to go back to his social media posts and see.
That's right.
But so this seller comes to me and they have a pink felt letterboard and he explains, well, mine is pink. And I'm like, dude, nobody's searching for pink felt letterboard like this. And you're going to be on 10 pages of felt letterboards. Like, how do you expect to sell this thing? Right. And, that's when they look at the copywriter and like make some magic happen. So I'm like, okay, what else could I call this thing? Right. Cause you're not going to make it in felt letterboards, dude. So, so I go start looking around and I look in office signs. Nobody's selling felt letterboards and office signs. Nobody's selling them as receptionist signs. I think of the customer and all the ways that they'd interact with this product. I look on Pinterest. I see how people are using this product. And I'm like, okay, baby shower signs, photography props, right? And I rewrote the listing. I found whatever market was the best for that and whatever one would appeal the best, right? And had the best search volume and the best opportunity. And he sold out of them. And and I did that again and again and again with so many listings, with fireproof bags, with everything you can imagine. I've written a crazy listing for so many different people. Like with fireproof bags, I figured out it's a really good safe accessory. And I just learned that by reverse searching and figuring out how other listings that were doing well were getting their traffic. And so I realized that this one listing was actually indexed for a safe accessory and none of the others were. And then I started searching and looking at those search results and realized that that one listing was on all those pages that none of the others were. So I was like, okay, we're going to double down on this one. We're going to redo this and make it super relevant for that. And again, I had that client sell out of those and I believe she's still selling them today. I don't know, but anyways, that started, and all these people who were coming to me to write their listings, I got off Fiverr. I was like, okay, I need a website or something. Like, this is crazy. These Fiverr fees are nuts. I need to charge more, so I got off Fiverr and all these people started coming to me and they were like, okay, can I sit down with you on a consultation? Like, can you help me? And I was like, okay. So I started charging $50 for a Google Hangouts call. and we would just sit on Google Hangouts together, and turned out a lot of those people had wild success working with me. And, they were making 6 figures off one product in 1 month. And they were now going on these big stages of these courses that they were taking and getting awards. And they were like, yeah, Amy Weiss helped me with this. And so here I was turning down calls. You guys, I was literally going to work every single day at my job where I'm an operations manager, like managing a big team of cybersecurity folks. And I'm coming home, and every hour on the hour I had calls, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I would go to bed, go to the gym, go to work, do it again. And then all weekend long I had calls. Like, and then I started taking like a week off at a time. I started taking a week off of work and like coming home and just trying to catch up on listings and on coaching and on my own private labels, which were at the same time growing and moving. And I was like, this is insane. I broke down and just like lost it. I was like, I can't keep this going. But I was too afraid to quit my job. I was making over 6 figures. I was paying the mortgage. I didn't know what to do, right? And my husband, he's so amazing. You know, he's so supportive of me and my crazy ideas and my workaholicness. He deserves a trophy for putting up with me for 16 years. But he was having the guys over from his like men's group. He was having the guys over on a weekend. And I was like, I don't want to hang out with these people. They all have jobs. They don't understand me. They don't understand what I'm trying to build. Like, but I'm gonna be a good wife, and I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna put a smile on, and I'm gonna try to hang out with these people, even though I have so much work inside this house. So I go outside and I meet 2 entrepreneurs, Efton and Sabrina Gary. And they're like, yeah, we're entrepreneurs too. We do consulting. We help people with IT, setting up IT infrastructure, that kind of stuff. And we should meet up once in a while so that we can, you know, get through these things together. And they yelled at me. They were like, you have to quit your job. And I was like, what do you mean? No, that's not on the table. I can't just quit my job. And Efton was like, okay, but you said you were turning down clients. And I'm like, yeah, but I have a mortgage. And he was like, okay, but what do you think is going to happen if you put all of your time and energy into this over here and stop this over here? And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. Like, I make a lot of money over here. And so he helped me get over that. And he's like, no, you need to quit your job. Like, this is the only option. You need to move forward. And he helped me. He life coached me through that. I still have a video with him. I went live with him. And we talked about my whole thing of me quitting and everything. I was so scared, you guys. I had like 2 weeks of nightmares every night, thinking people were going to stop calling. And it was just, I don't know. It was just crazy. I'm sure you know. Because when you went full time, did you have the same thing?
Yeah. I mean, I quit my job. And that was back in 2017. And it was because of encouragement from my wife. So you have to have, I'll tell you, that's important because entrepreneurs are a little bit crazy. Mm-hmm. They're a little bit difficult to be around sometimes. And we always have crazy ideas, but yeah, I mean, she believed in what we was doing, and she's like, "Look, you're making more money over here than you're doing on your day-to-day job." Which at the time, my day-to-day job was pretty fun anyway. I was a teaching tennis pro, so I was teaching classes all the time. But yeah, I think that's hard. I was scared. Not only did I quit, I moved across the country, back to Kansas City, where I was from, you know, to be with family. So I like totally. Like I couldn't
put it all on the line, right?
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't like I was going to be able to go ask for my job back. I'd have to sell the house, move back, you know, get the kids out of school. So it was full commit. But just like you, like, I mean, it's amazing. Like I would never have been able to meet Chris, work with Solozo, run businesses. I mean, it's so fun.
Yeah. And that's what I always tell people, like when we're coaching and stuff like that. And they're like, man, there's so many people failing every day. Like I see these negative posts and all these big Facebook groups, you know, do you still think it's worth it? And it's like, okay, you know, especially a lot of the folks that we work with, they're developing new products, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's what we teach. We teach you, if you have an idea and you want to develop it, like we teach you how to truly develop new products. And so that's a super scary journey. Like I have a guy right now who's making a completely new product in the golf space, and it's going to change the game. It's so amazing, but it's huge, and shipping is going to be crazy. And so, you know, it is just so scary to be in that spot, you know, but I was able to tell him, like, because, you know, he's like, oh man, you know, he asked me, do you think I should get like 5 more samples, like from five more suppliers? He already had like 4 good suppliers, and he had a decent sample in the works. And I was like, you're putting up walls for yourself right now, dude. And you're scared. Like, you don't need 5 more suppliers. What are you going to do with 5 more suppliers? Like, we need to stay the course, like keep going. You know, I was like, it's good over here. It's fine over here. You know, you're going to get here. I know you're going to a job you hate every day right now, but you're going to get here, and you're going to be able to hang out with me and Chris and Dustin, and you're going to have a great time. And it's going to be so freaking awesome. Just believe in yourself, because you that's the only thing keeping you from moving forward, right? Or your wife believing in you, right? Or your husband believing in you. So yes, I love that.
I'm about to book a coaching call right now.
I know, seriously. Yeah, how much do we owe you for this?
I'm about to get on a coaching call real quick.
I feel
so silly.
I feel inspired.
But the good thing about this whole story is, like, every time Amy tells a story, it's like you always kept going, and you always kept going. Like, you didn't stop the mold, like put you in a trap. Like, you just did it. You just kept moving to the next thing. And I don't know if you've ever seen this image, and Dustin, you may have seen it too, but it's this guy who's like picking for diamonds, and like the diamonds are on the other side of the wall, but he stops too soon and never gets to the diamonds because it was just taking him forever to get to that. And that's like always the image I have in my head when, like, I'm doing something. So just keep going. Like, you got to keep going. And that's what I like about that story.
Yeah, it's a good point. I like what you said about putting up walls. I think we all do that sometimes.
Guilty.
I mean, procrastination.
I still do it.
Oh yeah, all the time. It's like, and it's usually based on fear of what, you know. It's funny.
Fear of success or fear of failure.
Yeah.
Either one is going to keep you from moving forward. And so you just have to shut up, swallow your fear, and move forward, or go get a job.
Exactly.
That's what I always tell my folks in my mastermind group. I'm like, okay, you're going to get up, you're going to swallow your fear, or you're going to go get a job. You want to go get a job? You don't want to go get a job, do you? Keep going.
Oh man, I could talk about this all day long, like mindset and all that. It's so fun. I love your story, and I love passion. It's so fun to talk to people that are passionate and excited about what, you know, this opportunity. Because I feel like this is a unique opportunity, like in the history of the world, where you, like, one person can literally launch an international business, you know, and have thousands of products in warehouses everywhere. And you pretty much can manage it to a degree yourself. It's amazing how
my
this
husband does like 90% of everything in our private labels. Like, I do like CEO work, like, okay, what are you know, tracking metrics and stuff like that. And I swear I don't even do that well. But I'm much better at helping other people with their own businesses. But, you know, that's what we do as consultants. We pour all of our energy into everybody else, and we forget about our little business over here. And we're like, wait a minute, what's going on in my business? What happened with this bad review? Did you reach out to this lady? She's crazy. Like, what's going on over here? Right. But, you know, it's just rewarding either way. So it's good stuff. You know, the other thing too, the other lesson learned, and this is for all the business owners out there. And I promised you guys, we're going to talk about solid marketing in just a second.
Sorry, this is fun.
These are all important things. Well, we did talk about marketing a little bit, like know your keywords. Okay. If you have a saturated product, put it in front of the right audience or a different audience, and you might just sell out of that sucker. Right. I once had some cat toys. I launched these cat toys. And I found them on Amazon. It was like a pack of 20 cat toys. And I was like, this is perfect for my brand. And I can make these 20 cat toys. Well, apparently there was like 100 other sellers thinking the same exact thing. Or maybe that was featured on Jungle Scout. I don't know. But I picked out these 20 cat toys, and I went on Alibaba, and I found a supplier. And I launched these 20 cat toys. And by the time I launched, you guys know the end of the story. What's the end of the story?
100 more people were in there.
Yep.
Exactly. Oh no, with the keyword cat toys, what can I do with that? I can't sell them as dog toys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh crap, what do I do with these things? And so like the never give up thing, right? What I did, I sold them on other channels. I sold on Mercury, Facebook Marketplace, wherever I could sell them. I brought them to local markets and was like, these are $20 on Amazon. Today only, $10 here. Those sell like crazy, right? Bring your little square card reader. Yes, I can check you out right here. I take card and cash. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Make a deal. So in other channels, right? But the other thing I did is at Christmas time, and this comes back to marketing, right? Know your audience, know what they like. I know my audience because I'm a cat lady, right? So I noticed, I looked at Christmas time and I saw, okay, there are no stockings for cats. Your fur is family. If there is these ugly like paw stockings, I'm not hanging that up on my mantle next to all these other cute stockings with our names on. I just want a normal stocking. So I went on DHgate and I bought like 200 or 500 of these cute burlap stockings. And I literally ironed on transferred a really cute picture of a black cat. It took me like 2 hours to iron on transfer all of these little black cats. But I stuffed those cat toys inside and I sold out of them suckers at a profit.
You had a new product.
Exactly. So turn it into a new product, bundle it. That all goes into your marketing strategy, right? Sell it in multi-packs, whatever you can do, like never give up. There are other channels you can sell on. There are other things like Walmart's not saturated right now. Get over there, do that, right? Like Wayfair, if you have a home product, Wayfair is a drop shipping site. Get it listed, get moving, right? You can sell on Lowe's.com, HomeDepot.com, Overstock.com. You can find a distributor. You can sell in retail. I mean, Amazon is like 5% of all of retail. So there's a ton of opportunity out there. If you don't see a product like yours in a local store, go walk into that local store, bring a sample, and see if you can make a deal. Like, get it moving, people. So yeah, I would say like the biggest thing that you can learn, besides the keep digging for those diamonds beyond the wall, but also like if you have a product like that, don't give up. Just keep going.
You are getting people pumped up. We
got to bring in this. Yeah, look at this.
Episodes like this get me pumped. So, I mean,
thanks, Andrew, for
Andrew. That's perfect.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one getting pumped up. He wasn't the only one getting pumped up. We're getting pumped up too. And you're right about strategy like that. I mean, sometimes things don't work on Amazon, and you can feel like I've invested, but I've sold stuff on Groupon. I was talking to Chris the other day. I'm going to test out Facebook Marketplace. I've got a product right now. It's definitely too competitive. I've got units. I'm just going to probably pull out of Amazon on that one and start selling it in other places. And that's fine. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work better.
And Facebook Marketplace, they're stepping up their game. They recently they offer you can offer shipping now on your products. And they recently did like a giveaway. I got a message on Facebook Marketplace the other day and they're like, we're doing $1,000 giveaway if you offer shipping on your product. So they're trying to get in the game of e-commerce and shipping. Snapchat, another great place to sell your products. Find a micro influencer, right? Find a micro influencer, somebody new on TikTok that's just starting to get, like, maybe they have one video with a lot of views, something like that. Okay. Send them your products for free. Just ask them for their opinion, I mean, and maybe even you can help them set up an Amazon Associates account because that's free. And then you can help them do that and you can get them a little link tag there. And then they can offer your product and in the comments is the link and you're done, right? I mean, there's so many things that you can do. Like and not to mention, okay, can we just talk about external traffic for a minute? Let's do it. Okay, so first of all, a little shout out to Solozo. If you're not doing PPC, you're just wrong, okay? If you haven't noticed, like half the damn page now is ads, okay? Yeah. So, and if we know anything about the customer, we know that they don't scroll much past page 1. So you've got to do PPC. You've got to figure it out. I know the prices are really going up lately. Like it used to be when video ads first came out. And my podcast partner, Andy Arnott, reached out to me and he was like, get a video on Amazon now. Do it now. It's so cheap. He's like, I don't care. It could be the shittiest video. Get it on Amazon now. And I did. I listened to him, and it converted so good, and it was so cheap, and it was amazing. Now it's not the same for video ads because, Amazon's doing a little bit better working with their brands. Okay. But you would not believe how many registered brands I've sat on a coaching call with, audited their PPC, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're not using headline search ads. You're not using display ads. You're not using video ads. You're paying for sponsored product ads with everybody else, and your placement sucks. So we need to fix this, right? Always think about the customer first. Always think, where's the customer finding my product? And then search for your product. And if you can't find it, neither can they. So guys, do you know this stat? Do you know how much of Amazon's traffic is direct? Meaning how many people go to Amazon and type in Amazon.com?
I don't know that.
Good question. I don't know. What is that stat?
51%. 51% of Amazon shoppers are direct shoppers, meaning when they need a product, they go to Amazon.com and search for it. So what about the
guilty.
other 49%?
They're on Google.
Okay.
Everywhere else.
60% of them are Google, Chris. That's good. So if you're not doing Google ads, the super bottom of funnel, 60% of the 100% of traffic going to Amazon is Google. If you're not doing Google ads, do you know how cheap ads to Amazon are on Google? They're so cheap.
Are they really?
So cheap. They're like 10 cents a click. I only spend $5 a day on Google ads per product.
Okay, what do you do there? How do you set it up?
So I set up Google search ads, not Google shopping ads, because if you have a Google merchant account, it's really hard to send Google shopping ads to Amazon unless you're doing it like through your associate's account or something like that. Amazon themselves, like right now on some of my products, it's good because Amazon's running Google shopping ads, which is fine. But I run Google search ads. And so you have to open up a new account. If you already have like a merchant account that's associated with your website, it won't work. Like you have to open up a new Google Ads account, which is free. It doesn't matter. Just open it. Okay. And then you're going to use a two-step URL, a super relevant two-step URL, because it's going to help you rank for keywords. It's like search, find, buy, baby. It works really, really good. So you want to use a two-step URL to Amazon, set up your search ads. Make sure that your search ads don't suck. Like actually search for them. Actually make sure that when they're showing up in search that they're like appealing to the market. Know your market. Like that's the number one rule of any advertising that you're doing, right? Know your market and connect with them through wherever you're driving that traffic to. So if that's your Amazon listing, I need you to have a good Amazon listing. If you need me to look at your Amazon listing, visit amazingathome.com. I will send you a personalized video of me looking at your Amazon listing, okay? But anyway, I need you to have a good Amazon listing, and I need you to know who your customer is. Because if you don't know who your customer is and where they hang out and who they are, you can't connect with them. Buying is a psychological experience, right? If you can't connect with them on your listing, then you're paying for clicks. And I know you guys hate when you're paying for clicks and they don't convert because it makes you look bad. And it's not your fault that they have a crappy listing, right?
Right. First thing we look at.
Exactly. It's not Solozo's fault. Okay. So fix your listing, but Google ads, 60% of external traffic comes from Google. Well, comes from search. So how much of search does Google own? Most of it. I mean, I don't know if you guys are still on Yahoo, but I'm on Google.
Nope.
Nope. So, I just set those up. I do a two-step URL, $5 a day. It's on average 10 cents a click. And it does a really good job. And now with Amazon's brand referral bonus, you can go click on brands and Seller Central, click on brand referral bonus. And, you just go in there, you create an order, what's called an order, and it'll give you like a little tag. And then you go back into your Google ads and you add that tag. And then you can get 10% back on your referral fees for anything that has converted, which is really cool. But yeah, Google ads are really, really good. They're so good for sticking the landing. If you're launching a product, they're so good for helping you stick a landing on your launch. Because what a lot of people do is they set up really aggressive PPC on launch, which you should. You should totally set up really aggressive, awesome PPC, going for those keywords that you really want to be in front of the customer. Check your placement, make sure it's awesome, right? But you need, I say, 3 forms of external traffic. That's what you need for a really solid launch. One of those forms could be rebates, right? Maybe you're doing rebates. Maybe you're working with an influencer. Maybe you're running Pinterest ads or Facebook ads, or you have a YouTube video, right? Whatever, but you need 3 forms of external traffic. I like one of those forms to be bottom of funnel, which is Google Ads. Like, duh, it's so easy to set up, right? But what a lot of people do when they launch is they'll set up a bunch of rebates or a bunch of giveaways or a bunch of the search, find, buys. And then, and things are going good. They're on page 1, like their PPC is awesome. And then they stop when they're done with their however many per day, right? And they stop, and what happens? The A9 algorithm goes, that was clearly manipulation. I have a different voice for the A9 algorithm every time. That was clearly manipulation. Like, shut you down. Okay. You're on page 10 now. Good luck. So that's the thing. So if you have Google Ads running at the same time with a 2-step URL, you can set up like 2 or 3 ads with the two or three different 2-step URLs, really relevant 2-step URLs. Like, don't try to rank for dog toys if you're selling cat toys, okay? Like, pick words in your title, make those your 2-step URLs, right? Keyword 2-step URLs, get it going. And before you know it, you're going to be ranking like crazy. Amazon loves external traffic. It's going to rank you 3-1 over PPC alone, right? And if you've got a really great listing, you're going to be making those conversions at the same time. And then when you stop those rebates or whatever it is that you're doing, the algorithm's going to be none the wiser. It's going to go, oh, wow, well, they're converting well, and there's all this diverse traffic, because Google actually follows the customer around. So when you set up those search ads, it will follow them around the internet, wherever they go. It's really, really cool. So, it sends diverse traffic to Amazon, which is really, really awesome. And, when you do that during a launch and you keep it up, I mean, it's cheap, it's easy. And when you stop your rebates, Amazon, the algorithm doesn't care. It's like, oh, well, this is still a really great product. Let's leave it on page 1, right? As long as you continue to convert there, right? But yeah, so that's my tips on bottom of funnel. And we can talk about middle of funnel, YouTube.
Well, what do you do on the Google ads? There's different match types. Like there's all. What do you do there?
There are different match types. We set it up for, I'd have to go back in and look because my husband manages those now and I haven't set them up in a while. But we go for website clicks is the what our goal is. And I believe that we do broad match in the beginning and then we optimize over time. We also look at like, where are we getting the most clicks? And then we look at Google's recommended keywords, because you want to do keyword research from like Google's keyword planner. You don't want to do keyword research from like Amazon, right? Because it's Google. So you want to make sure like you're using the right keywords. Andy, my podcast partner, Andy, his tool, Seller SEO, actually has a tool in it called Titan. And it's the only tool I know about, but it will actually set up your Google ads for you in the right format, all of that, like, and so it'll connect with your Google Ads account, and it, we'll do all of that, and so it's at sellerseo.com, but yeah, it's nobody talks about Google Ads. I swear, I'm like the only person who talks about Google Ads is as far as this goes, but well, besides Andy, who told me about Google Ads, and I just couldn't believe it. It was one of those hacks, like you figure out, and he reached out to me one day, and he's like, "You're not going to believe this. He said, I don't think I'm going to share this with and I was like, shut up. You're going to share it. Like, let me try it first. And then, and of course he made it a tool later, but yeah, we tried it and we took this really crappy product. Okay. It was like 700,000 in home and kitchen. It was a liquidation product that we had bought for like $1 a piece. And we just set up these Google ads just to test for, with the 2-step URL, all of that. And in 2 weeks, we had only 1 sale and we didn't do anything. We weren't running Amazon PPC on these, right? This is like 3 years ago. We weren't running Amazon PPC. We were just doing these Google ads and no sales, just 1 sale in that 2.5 weeks. And we went and looked it up again and tracked the rank over time. The BSR had climbed to 100,000 from 700,000 in home and kitchen. And we were on page 1 for multiple of our keywords. And we're like, this product sucks. Like, how is this even possible? So then we knew, we were like, okay, we're putting it on all. And so for my launch strategy for all the clients that come through, I'm like, nope, this is one of your techniques, right? We're adding Google Ads. So yeah, it's an easy method, but it will not work for you if you have a crappy Me Too product that isn't converting anyway. So just remember that. Like, don't think like Google Ads is suddenly going to be amazing for you, because think about the customer again. The customer is searching on Google for a t-shirt, black t-shirt, black t-shirt, Amazon. You wouldn't believe how many times people search Amazon, right? Along with a product on Google. And then they go to Amazon.
That's interesting.
It's one of the most clicked keywords. Yeah, I have the Keywords Everywhere extension. I love it. Put it into Google and I look, and almost every time, like, Amazon is the 3rd or 4th one down. But it has like Walmart, Target. And if it's all retailers, then I know not to launch that product on Amazon, because people are going to their local store to buy it. So that's like a really great tool to use.
Interesting.
But yeah, so Amazon is a really highly searched keyword on Google. And so if you're selling a black t-shirt and it's totally saturated and you don't have like amazing reviews or good placement, or, and your listing looks like crap, your Google ads are not your friend. Like, let's find a better product. Let's bundle that black t-shirt with something interesting, whatever. But let's do that instead of, or sell that black t-shirt in a local community, sell it Facebook Marketplace, somewhere else, right, where you're going to get that traction, instead of sell it bulk to a retailer. Whatever you want to do, but it's not an answer for a bad product.
So we hit up on Google. I mean, I'm going to check this out on my own stuff probably here shortly.
For sure. I'm not doing that enough.
Homework.
Yeah, I know. I'm making notes over here. Yeah.
That's what I do every week on my podcast. I'm like,
yeah, I know. I'll tell you, Google Ads, I mean, you'd never hear that talked about much.
No.
And you hear all about like using Facebook for launches and all this other stuff, but you don't hear. I mean, I was not aware of those cheap cost per clicks like you're talking about on Google. So I got a new experiment going to roll out tonight. So thank you for the homework assignment. I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, no worries.
Do you do anything on the social side, like Facebook ads, to mini chat, to bots, that kind of stuff?
Yes, we do a little bit. I use tools for that too. I don't want to come on a tools podcast and like talk about all these other.
Oh, it's all good.
Oh, it's okay.
We're fine. It's good. Okay, so I do that, but so the other side of Google Ads that people need to know about, because the second highest referral source to Amazon besides Google, besides search, I don't want to say Google, search, is YouTube. So if we're thinking about YouTube ads can be created from your Google dashboard. So let's say that you have a really awesome, let's say you're selling a fishing product and there's a really famous fisher person. What am I saying? Is it like a unisex thing? What am I doing? Yeah. Anyway, let's say there's a really famous professional fisherman that has won all these championships and has a YouTube video, whatever. I don't know, but you can't afford them. You can't afford for them to rep your product. Mm-hmm. Well, you can set up a Google pre-roll ad of your product looking amazing, same kind of look and feel as this professional fisher person's thing. And you manage that right from your Google Ads dashboard. And you can set up a YouTube pre-roll ad to drive amazing traffic to your listing and say, buy it on Amazon, all of that. And here you go. Now you're getting in front of the right customer. And I just love that. It's so much cheaper to run a YouTube ad than it is to hire an influencer that that's going to rep your product if it's a really, really famous influencer, right? And you can pick specific videos that you want your product to be shown before. So me, I'm in cats. I can run my product right in front of either other litter box reviews, which there's a lot of those organically on YouTube, or I can run it in front of like funny cat videos, right? Those are my people, right? So anyway, think about that. YouTube is huge. TikTok, also really huge. There's a lot of TikTok influencers that are just awesome. There's Amazon deals. Like, look for the hashtag Amazon deals on TikTok, and you'll find influencers who are just looking for products to rep for. You guys are both taking notes. This is hilarious.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, seriously.
I love it. I'm so glad.
Send us an invoice afterwards.
You guys are so silly.
No, this is fantastic. I don't want to miss any of this. I mean, like the Amazon deals hashtag on TikTok.
Look for that, because that's going to reveal people like Gracie Ryback, who and other Amazon influencers who will not only do lives on Amazon live stream for you, which isn't getting a lot of traction right now, but then they're also going to do it on TikTok. And so if you're doing a product launch and you're running a deal, if your product like meets their kind of audience and stuff like that, it is like, I mean, imagine how much you're spending on PPC every day, right? Mm-hmm. Spending that same amount to pay an influencer. Not only is that video going to be there for a long time, and but it's really gonna pay dividends, right? So don't forget about that. That's a really good way to do it. And so TikTok, YouTube video sells a lot of. So I don't do a lot of like Facebook marketing, that kind of stuff. But I do love like video on Facebook, Facebook Lives, that kind of stuff. But I do love like, Facebook, the videos, and then like the carousel ads are pretty good on Facebook. You can set those up to go to Amazon, which is pretty cool as well. But the tool that I use for chatbots and that kind of stuff is called Elite Seller. It's they have this really awesome landing page kind of thing where you can create your own landing pages, and they have like templates for you that you can send a customer to, like a super legit looking landing page, and it'll walk them through the buying process and track them and everything, and give them a coupon to get your product on Amazon. And so I just like not having to do it all myself. And they have such a good product for that. And it's included, like all of their chatbots and everything is included in their base level. Plus for dashboards, they have really, really great dashboards. So they don't really do like PPC management or anything like that. But for like dashboards of my sales and stuff like that, I love their program because you can track like your PPC spend down to the ASIN level. And you can look at your, which is hard to do on some of the other dashboards that are available. You don't know because you're like, okay, this was my total ad spend, but I don't know exactly how much I'm spending on this particular ASIN, and tracking that down. But there's so many cool dashboards and they're all customizable. So whatever you want to see on your business, you can create a customized dashboard that way. So that's one of my favorite tools for that, just because I just love the way the landing page looks versus like leading someone in Facebook to a chat. Anytime you're asking someone to leave their feed and like go to a chat, it's got to be a really good flow. Would you guys agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm smiling because that tool I showed Dustin, I'm a user of it, and I was like, Dustin, you got to see this thing.
The landing page is awesome.
And we're gonna have Josh Porter on from Lisa.
Yes, I love Josh. He's super fun.
That's gonna be exciting because it is a great tool, and the dashboard is amazing. And they know what they're doing over there. They got some good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
All those VSS guys, they're good. But that's so awesome. Yeah, I think so. YouTube is some of my favorite. Pinterest. Y'all, Pinterest, like you cannot sleep. Don't sleep on Pinterest, okay? Because a Pinterest pin the last stat that I have is 1,480 times longer than a Facebook post. But the thing about Pinterest is that it shows up in Google search. So why wouldn't we have Pinterest pins, right? So I'm going to give you guys a free a free resource for Pinterest. My man, Joe Reichsfeld, he has a Pinterest course on his website, which is Ecom Optimizers. Ecom Optimizer. Yeah. Just Google like Ecom Optimizer Pinterest. And Joe, his course, like I put my kids through it because my kids work in my business, right? They're 11 and 14 years old, and they're on the payroll. It's a great tax write-off, you guys. If you want to have, they only work 4 hours a week. It's not like, I'm not slave driving my children. Yeah. They only work 1 hour a day, 4 days a week, right? But it's teaching them, my 14-year-old, she builds my landing pages. She's really, really good at web stuff. But I put both of them through Joel's Pinterest course, and they grew our Pinterest following from like nothing to like 600,000 in a couple of weeks. Yeah. So Joe just has this way he shows you how to like set up your boards, what to do. And he's really good with Pinterest. So definitely check that out because there's now Pinterest is stepping up their game. They have stories now, they have videos, they have, you don't even need to run ads. Like it's really, really cool. So there's a lot you could do there, especially if you're looking to drive more traffic to your own website. Pinterest is so good for that. It's not as good for driving traffic to Amazon, but it is good for building awareness for your products. And Joe explains that in his stuff, but that was one of the best investments that we made too, because that Pinterest pin is still driving traffic today for free, right? And then you can pin other things from other boards, right? So if let's say you create a board that has, that's like all about cat care, right? And you have all these different pins. You can pin pins from other people that have a lot of followers or whatever, right? And then they'll discover your board. So like all the people who get notifications every time whoever they're following pins a new thing to their board, they'll go into that board and look at it, and then other pins are recommended from others. It's very addictive. It's like TikTok, how you're there for 2 hours and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm still scrolling. What happened to my life?
That's exactly what happens.
I know. And so that's the thing about Pinterest is you can get traffic off other people's stuff organically because Pinterest will just recommend it because you pinned their pin, right? And now you get those followers. And every time you pin something new, all those people get notified across the platform. So it's just so magnetic and so cool. It's like a snowball effect, right? And then don't forget you can write a Wikipedia article about your product. You can.
That's a good one.
Not? Yes. Ranks high on Google, right?
That is a good one. Oh my gosh. My notepad's full, Chris.
No, I had to get it.
You guys, we were like, we'll talk for like 35 or 40.
Yeah, we have too much fun talking about this stuff.
It's so much fun. But yeah, so there's so much you guys can do. Really think about increasing your web footprint and like organic, awesome ways that you can do that, So yes, you can ask people's opinions on Reddit. Like you don't want to go like try to sell something on Reddit. Redditors will like kill you for that. But you can go like ask people's opinions and get them talking about something. And now suddenly you're ranking on Reddit, right? So I actually searched for my product on Reddit the other day, and somebody asked like, has anyone heard of this? Like, what are the reviews on it? And I was like, oh, somebody else did it for me. Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
So anyways, I think that's like, I could sit here and talk about this stuff all day. I love it. But yeah, I think those are like my top tips. My biggest tip for you guys, if I just want to like summarize everything, it's just to know your product. It's just to know your product and know the audience and make that connection, because that is just going to pay dividends so many times. And I do all these listing reviews, and every time consistently, it's like, you're not looking at this product through your customer's eyes. You're just trying to follow some formula from somebody, and it's not making a connection. So if you can't explain why the customer should buy your product and not somebody else's, there's something wrong with your listing. Bottom line. Yeah.
It's such a good point. All this stuff works if you're speaking in the right voice to the right audience about the right product. Otherwise, it doesn't all this is going to be a waste of effort and money if that's the case. But man, I love.
I feel like I owe somebody some money or something.
Yeah, I know.
That was solid.
That was solid.
That was a solid marketing plan. Exactly right. I mean, I've got things that are now going to go into like my standard operating procedures. Like you do this, and this, and it's going to include Wikipedia, Pinterest. I am sleeping on Pinterest. Bad. That's a one. And I just think some of this stuff is just, it's like, I don't want to do it. It's like I should do it on some of those.
I'm gonna hire Amy's kids.
I know. Well, that's another thing. It's so funny because
otherwise occupied.
Yeah.
I have an 11 and a 15-year-old. So very, very similar there. And when I started my business, I started a long time ago. They were little when I started it, but I was always talking to them about it. I'm like, when I incorporated, they were members of the corporation, and it's really fun to do that. And yeah, my oldest son who's 15, he's really good with Photoshop. Chris and I talk about this all the time. So he does like my images, and he's doing.
It sounds like we need to trade services.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he's open for work for sure.
Yes.
But it's a lot of fun. They get in. It's good and bad. I mean, neither one of them. They're like, we're not ever going to get real jobs. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're going to.
That might be good. Yeah.
Oh, what have I done? Okay, this is good. I'm glad that you're excited about the entrepreneurial life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is
I do
fun.
ask my kids that, like, what are you excited about? Like, if you could have any job today, like, because we do like conversation cards at dinner and stuff. And I'm like, if you could have any job today, and they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What? It's like, what if I created a monster? Like, dream big, and they're just like, I don't know. So, I'm like, I'm going to make you guys get a job at like McDonald's or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I'm in that process right now. We're looking for jobs. I'm like, yeah, you got to just got your permit. It's time to start thinking about that car you're going to get in a year. So, but
I love that. I love that you're doing that.
He's pumped about it. It's fun. And it's really fun. That's what I love about this lifestyle. I mean, obviously Chris and I work at a company, work for Solozo, but it's like an entrepreneurial lifestyle. I mean, we're working from home, and I love that, being around the kids. It's super, it's fun, and they get to see us working, and that makes it good for them. So it's been fun. Amy, we've got to have you on again. I mean, just that's all there is to it. There's no discussion. You're coming back on at some point in the future. We can talk about lots more stuff. But before we jump off, anybody who is listening to this, and I mean, they've got to be picking up on the enthusiasm and the passion that you've got. If they want to work with you, or if they want to take one of your courses, you've got all kinds of stuff that you offer. To let them know how they can get in touch with you.
Well, for those wanting to know about Google Ads, we do actually have a Google Ads course. It's cheap. It's like $96, and it just teaches you how to set up your Google Ads to Amazon. It's not like an advanced Google Ads course or anything like that. It's just for those people that want to set up their ads to Amazon and haven't been able to figure it out yet. So anyway, we do have that. But you can go to amazingathome.com, and you can click the contact button. You can go underneath the services menu, and you can look at all the things we do. We do listing optimization and photography. We even have some free services like our listing review. But yeah, just reach out anytime. We have a Facebook group as well. It's called Amazing at Home, and we're very picky. Like, we don't let like crazy VAs in there. Like, we're very picky. We're small but powerful, so it's just like sellers hanging out and helping each other. And yeah, we have a mastermind group, all that stuff, but all the details at amazingathome.com, or look up our Facebook group, Amazing at Home. Yeah, it's been, check me out on LinkedIn. I suck at LinkedIn, you guys. I suck at Instagram, and I suck at LinkedIn. I'm trying to get better. So if you connect with me there, help me get better.
Well, I'm telling you, everybody, you've got to go check out amazingathome.com. Look through all the stuff she offers, the mastermind, the courses, everything. I was looking through this earlier today. It's an amazing set of offerings, and I know it's really good for everyone listening to take advantage of those. And we're going to have you back on again. That's all there is to it. It's already been decided. We're going to set it up.
There's so many things we could talk about. Productivity, listing optimization.
So much. It's fun talking about all of it. because it pumps you up when you have these conversations. You're like, all right, I'm pumped. Like right now, I'm pumped about going to write a Wikipedia article. Can't believe it. It's awesome. But Amy, thanks a ton for coming on. We've had a blast. I know this has been really, really good for everyone tuning in and listening. So thank you so much. And for everybody who is listening, if you like content like this, if you want to hear more from amazing people like Amy, or make sure you're there and you get notified when Amy comes back on, make sure you subscribe to this podcast. You can also watch our live streams on Solozo's Facebook page, Solozo's LinkedIn page, and the Solozo YouTube channel. So go there, subscribe to those, turn on notifications to get notified when we go live. You can comment, ask questions like Andrew was doing earlier today. And Nathan said, great job. So that's awesome to hear that. Thank you everyone for tuning in. So yeah, subscribe to those channels so you can get this content. Also, if you're struggling with your PPC right now, or if you'd like to automate it or learn how to optimize your PPC better, that's what Solozo can help you do. You can go to solozo.com right now. You can book a demo. You're going to get a call with either Chris or myself. We'll talk just like this with you about anything in Amazon that you want to talk about. If your listing sucks, we're going to send you straight to Amy, and then we're going to get that fixed up for you real quick, and then we'll get your ads cranked up. So please go to solozo.com, book a demo. We got a 14-day trial. We know that you guys will like it once you get in there and you see how the system works. So everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Amy, thanks for joining us, and we'll be back at this again tomorrow. All right, see you, everybody. Goodbye.